Well, hello, everybody. It is Thursday night. It is February the 19th, 2026, and you are tuned in to Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show, coming to you live on this Thursday night, as always. And we're just proud and as tickled as we can be to have you all joining us tonight here on our show on Facebook and on YouTube. If you're on the Facebook channel, if you don't mind, reach over and hit the like button, hit the share button. Let everybody know that you're a fan of Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show, and it'll broadcast on your page. And don't forget about Dirt Road Sports YouTube channel. All of our episodes next month. Next month, we celebrate 6 years on the air. 6 years on the air. We've been here most every week. There's a few weeks we have to miss, but I've been here most every week for the last 6 years, and all those episodes are archived on our YouTube channel, and you be sure to go and check it out as well. But hey, we are glad you're here. We welcome all of you to our broadcast tonight. We are coming to you live from our studio, Thompsontown, Georgia, live from our studio at 100% Flamingo Boulevard at the Rock, Georgia, and studio at turn number 3 at the Old Rocket Speedway in Kinsey, Alabama. Great big welcome to all of you out there that are watching, wherever you're watching us from, whoever you're watching us with. We welcome you to our broadcast tonight, coming to you live all across the great United States of America and in foreign countries where it is legal and illegal for us to send out this broadcast. All 57 states, 5 foreign countries, 4 sunken islands, and as always, loud and proud, and I see them tuned in already from the great state of Baker County, Georgia. And we welcome each and every one of you to our program tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say something about the old saying they used to have about Baker County and Miller County and Seminole County. This is a true saying, old time saying, if you will. It said if you could get through Seminole County without getting robbed, if you could get through Miller County without getting shot, if you could get through Baker County without getting drunk, you could go anywhere in the world. Hey, I didn't make that up. Now, y'all forgive me if I insulted any of you. That ain't my problem. That's your problem. But it's a made up story. And y'all probably got some worse ones of that about folks in Miller County. Anyway, go ahead.
Hey, but listen, we know that this show is not for everybody. It is not for the faint of heart. It's not for those. Let me just tell you who we are. We are common sense thinking, law abiding, closed borders, church going, love the Lord, love each other, enjoy life and have a good time, and operating with common sense principles. That pretty much sum us up.
Yeah, that's it. Part now, you delving way off out there in quicksand with some of these folks.
Yeah,
you go talking about common sense, but that's what we subscribe to. Wouldn't y'all think so, Queasel?
That's right.
Yeah, common sense. We may not have no sense, but we got common sense.
That's it. Yeah,
we got what you call walking around sense. Have y'all ever seen anybody that don't know walking around sense?
Mm-hmm.
I see them all the time.
So let me just start off with that. If you don't have good walking around sense, we are probably not the show for you.
That's it.
You're probably gonna get your feelings hurt. You're gonna, feel like that we have offended you and that we're full of toxic masculinity and that we are homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, and all other kind of phobics. And so, you just don't need to harm your mental state for the next hour and a half, because that's all we're going to do is get your blood pressure up. But here's what you can do. I only got one thing you can do tonight. I want you to call an Uber, and I want you to get them to come pick you up and drive you to Washington, D.C., and I want you to stand outside of the Capitol tomorrow and wait to get you an autograph of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And that'll be better time spent driving in an Uber for 12 hours to Washington, D.C. Make sure you take plenty of cash to pay for it, though. But I think you'll enjoy it. Let your money bring you happiness. Go ahead and get an Uber driver to drive you to Washington so you can get AOC's autograph first thing in the morning.
And make sure what you do now that you go ahead and pay for your return trip on that car, because what's going to happen if you wave any kind of cash around in Washington D.C., what you gonna do? First thing gonna happen to you, your skull's gonna be cracked open, and you go. So give me some advice if you will.
Right?
Marvin, if they do that,
is it raining at your place, please?
Do what? I'm sorry.
Raining at your place?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's raining here. Just a little touch here.
Yeah, yeah. If they go up there to get her autograph, tell her they don't want AOC. They want her to spell out her name. I bet you a Coca-Cola pack of crackers she can't spell her name.
No. All right, guys,
AOC
I got
is all
something.
she knows.
I decided to do something a little different tonight. We ain't got no big screen TV, and we ain't got no businesses that I even went to. I ain't even gonna lie and try to make it up.
Been busy.
Yeah, been busy, but we got something different tonight. I want to pay tribute, and I might do this more often. I want to pay tribute to some unknown or little known places in our viewing area, which is the whole globe.
Yeah.
But these are little places that may not be recognized anymore. So I want to kind of like they used to do salute to the little towns on there. But this is paying tribute. And tonight we're going to pay tribute to Cyrene, Georgia. And let me give you a little bit of information here.
What Mark was talking about doing these little day trips that some of y'all can take if you're off in Alabama or Florida or wherever you might be, within 50 miles or 100 miles, load up in your automobile and come over here and check some of these places out.
Or we're going to do some in Alabama and Florida too. But Cyrene was named for the Greek Cyrenaica. It was named after the Greek Cyrenaica town over there. Founded in 1890 by Mr. C.S. Hodges and W.G. Powell. Listen to this. It was a thriving mill town established to harvest the southern pine forest. It was a center for naval stores, lumber, featuring a sawmill, a cotton gin, and a turpentine still.
Tell them folks up there in Martha's Vineyard what naval stores is.
I don't know if you got to.
It's turpentine.
Oh,
Martha.
turpentine.
Okay,
Okay,
come on.
Thank you for letting me know that.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to expose you.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
exposed. Listen to this. Cyrene, in its peak population, had 500 people living there. They had a post office, and listen to this, Floyd. You may not even know this. It was home to the Cyrene Institute, not mental institute.
It was a learning center.
All boys preparatory school, and later became a co-educational and offered primary and college preparatory courses. And at the height of it, had a dormitory for 100 students, a dining hall, and an administration building.
I think part of that old building's still down there.
It was actually deeded. I don't think we still own it, but the Bowen Baptist Association, it was deeded to them around 1916. I don't know what they did with it.
Oh, they sold it. They sold it to them. That cash. Yeah, they sold that so they could travel.
They liquidated that.
Yeah, so they could go to association meetings and things.
That's right.
They converted that to cash pretty quick.
And it is located in Decatur County, Georgia. Decatur County, Georgia. But that's some fun facts about the little community of Cyrene. Had a 100 dormitory college preparatory school there in the early 1900s.
You were talking about what was that? Powell that founded that? You kin to them Powell,
I'm kin to them. Yep.
It
was C.S. Hodges and W.G. Powell.
W.G. Powell. C.S. and W.G. And if you notice, their name was not Floyd, Marvin, or Queasel. They always had initials. Folks like that always had initials before their name, you know. But I'm surprised you didn't know what naval store was.
I remember well, you go down and every time you see a pine tree, you'd have a turpentine can hanging on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was turpentine. And we had a turpentine still here in Concord, right over at Brooks's Steel.
Coming to my house.
That's Mr. Charlie Brooks's house is still there. That man that owned the turpentine steel, and it was just gigantic vat. They would bring that stuff in on wagons in barrels, big barrels. They would take that. You don't know what tar is out of a pine tree. I'm sure if you ever touched a cut pine tree, you know what that sap is. That was they made turpentine out of it. They cooked it down and distilled it. Turpentine was a magic elixir, if you will. Turpentine could cure anything.
All right, let me ask you this. We got this
Some folks still use it.
Last night. It was predominantly, though, the longleaf pines, and that's what happened to the turpentine is they started growing slash and improved and all that, and did not replant because of how long it took them to grow. Is that right?
No, my turpentine just played out.
Oh, okay.
It just played out. It's kind of like foot washing at churches and all this. It kind of played out, you know.
We still wash foots at my church.
Yeah, well, but a lot of them, they've passed on that. But anyway, I know y'all y'all special, and y'all
But
dedicated.
turpentine,
But the
you know,
turpentine, it was a big industry, and it was
Yeah.
it was back breaking industry. It was tough,
A lot of physical
a
labor.
lot of physical, and it was nasty. You get that old turpentine all over you, that old tar
Yeah.
all over you, couldn't get it off.
I wouldn't have been a good turpentine man.
Man, no. You'd have found you out there. You'd have been stuck to one of them pine trees out there. As it was turpentine. Oh, you.
Can you imagine me harvesting turpentine and what do you say? Gom it up.
Here's the first thing I would have, if you had been a turpentine harvester, you would not be weighing 310 pounds. You would be closer to 110.
He wouldn't be no preacher neither, because that
No, he
turpentine
wouldn't be no preacher neither.
He'd be done stuck his lip together.
Floyd, you talked about it being the magical elixir. Some folks still use it.
Yeah,
Some
I got
folks still.
a bottle of it up
Hey,
here.
Yes,
You
sir.
can't beat nothing for getting
Good.
fed by a fish or a fish hook or something. Man, turpentine.
Oh, it was a magic. It was a magic cure. Turpentine. They folks, they take it internally, externally,
Yeah.
the whole deal. If you had a cut anything, put some turpentine on and wrap it up. It was magic. It was. Now we got how many over the counter medicines you think that we got now, and compounds and all that kind of stuff. That when all you need was some turpentine.
Turpentine.
And
You couldn't go in a house back in the days I'm talking about without finding turpentine in the medicine cabinet. It was there for both whatever you wanted.
It'll pull a boil to a head too.
Pull a boil to a head. Yeah.
Do they still have mercurochrome and methylate? The burning stuff?
So.
I think it's illegal. I think I read an article about that, Charlie. There's something about it would kill you.
It had mercury in it, probably.
Yeah.
I ain't dead.
Yeah,
methylate.
But I've had it put on a cut on me that I wished I was dead, because that methylate would burn you sure enough.
That's what I've been painted pink from the top of my head to the bottom of my foot. So it don't kill you.
If you had any kind of rash around your private area, no turpentine nor methylate.
That's
so
exactly
your
right.
folks wouldn't see you. They wouldn't see you for 3 days and 4 nights.
That happened. Not that, but something similar happened to me. I got chafed one time, and I picked up a bottle of Gold Bond medicated powder rather than baby powder. And son, let me tell you what I got in the automobile, and I was driving, and I got about 2 miles down the road, and I thought I was going to get out and run.
I'm glad I wasn't nowhere around that.
I am too. Kenneth Hope, old buddy, you welcome, man. I see what you got up there. You welcome. With our honor, we're glad to help you, brother. Glad to help you. You ought to hate to been with Marvin when he got in a situation like that, because when Marvin got it, he's round. No, what would be the word for like a bull in a China store? He's already
rambunctious.
like that. Rambunctious. That's what I was enough. But when you give him a little enticement of that going on, he'd hurt somebody.
I think there must be some truth to that, because my pa-in-law used to tell me that all the time, that I was like a bull in a china shop, and I never believed him.
I can see where he's coming from.
I can too.
Yeah,
I can see where he's coming from. It's
look at that.
What you got, Floyd?
It ain't liquor.
Bottle of turpentine.
How about
Have
that?
a doggone.
Look at that.
Bottle of turpentine.
What does it taste like?
I
Twig
don't know.
it.
Drink it and tell it. Why don't
Marvin.
you tell us? Yeah.
Smell it. Yeah. What it smell like?
Turpentine.
Smell a lot like menthol.
You know what it reminds me of? Nostalgia. Annie Ruth's house, because she had it, and I'd take inquisitive. I'd take the top off and I smell it.
Hey.
It reminds me of my grandma's house.
I got an idea.
That smell just like one of them old yellow pine trees right there.
I got an idea. Marvin, next time you get chased, run right out of Floyd and do some little lad up there and tell me how that works.
Hey, that'd be way worse than the Gold Bond medicated powder. How old is that?
I got it at the Georgia Agorama, and they made it on the 1890s wood-fired turpentine steel over in Tifton, at the Agri-Rama. That's a good place. I had forgot about that. I had that thing. See, I've used some of it on some.
Yeah.
Some of it's gone.
Wow,
There's a corner of it gone out the bottle right there. But everybody ain't got one of them in the house.
Right.
That's something right there. The last I had, I don't know if we still got any, but it was in the bottle about a little bigger than what the methylate used to come in.
Mm-hmm.
And you just dab it on there. But when we got to where we couldn't get turpentine as readily as you used to, we started using. I tell you something else. Where I keep it in the boat. I don't no more because I ain't got none. But used to, I kept a little bottle of kerosene.
Yep, kerosene.
Take that kerosene, and if you cut yourself and put that kerosene, it'll heal it up.
Well, they sent out Department of Agriculture sent out a warning this week. There was some bad kerosene sold over in Cairo. It was saw it on the Book of Faces. There was some, I don't know what bad kerosene
What is bad kerosene?
But they put out a warning on it from the Department of Agriculture, Queasel.
Unless it had water in it.
Man, you're an old time oil man. What is bad kerosene?
Only time I ever know kerosene was bad when it got water in it.
Uh-huh.
I
bet that was what they watered it down. Some of them Hindu run service stations over there watering it down.
What would be the purpose of that?
To make more money.
Yeah, Johnny Wells used to do that with his gas. He used to brag about his white gas. The gas wasn't white. The gas was red, but he mixed it with so much water it turned white.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what that was.
Hey, you talking about my cousin now?
I know it. I know I'm talking about your cousin.
Yeah, you talking about my cousin.
Y'all
hey
just
guys,
alike.
Tell them about Seminole Livestock Auction.
Well, that's a great auction company if you've got cattle to sell. If you're looking for cattle, if you're looking for some herd replacement cattle, they're having a big sale coming up. It's going to be a complete herd dispersal this coming Monday over there. The sale starts at 12 o'clock. They're going to have 60 to 65 cow-calf pairs, some 3-in-1s. That means they bred back 20 bred cows, all coming from one operation up around America's area up there. Some good cow, a good operator up there, and he's got 65 cow-calf pairs he's going to be selling. 20 bred cows he's going to be selling. If you want to increase your herd, if you want to add to your herd and build your herd, if you want to get started in the cattle business, it'd be a good place to go over there this coming Monday at 12 o'clock at Seminole Livestock Auction over there in Dawsonville, Georgia. Get a hold of Gerald Mock. Call him right there. Call him on that number. That's the landline number, 229-524-2305. Give him a call on that moment. Y'all see his cell phone number down there, Gerald Mock. Call him and talk about those cattle. He'll tell you about them. And those cattle are going to be on the sale yard there, I think, tomorrow. They will start coming in tomorrow. So over the weekend, if you want to take a look at them and inspect the cows and do a drive-through on them, they'll be at the sale barn. Just go in there and take a look at that herd dispersal that's coming in there. It'll be a big asset to your herd and improve your herd and increase your herd. So y'all do business with them over at Seminole Livestock Auction in Dawsonville, Georgia.
Charlie?
Yes, sir.
My man liked to win the race Sunday. He
almost.
They wrecked him out.
Yeah, they wrecked him. And you know what? If it had been one of them NASCAR darlings that they got picked, they'd have thrown the flag when the wreck happened, and the race would have been over.
It'd be over with. He'd be the winner. Yep.
When the first wreck happened, if it had been one of they if it would have been Bubba in the lead,
got
the flag.
No.
Flag would have failed.
Got the flag.
When the wreck happened, the flag would have failed. You
got the flag,
but not Chase, not the old Georgia boy.
Yep, Georgia boy don't get no break.
Georgia boy.
Had we been there in all of our get up, I think he might have won. Raining again.
Queasel, I watched part of it, but when they get up there 3 abreast, all the way back, and they're not running but 60% of the throttle, which I thought when it came to racing, whether it be going in a straight line or turning left, when you were racing, you were supposed to see how far you could keep that accelerator down as fast as you could go. But this deal of saving gas and everything, that ain't racing. That's bull crap.
They made that comment about how long do you think they was going to keep on letting them 3 cars just throttle it back. And I told my wife, I said, well, that's the difference with when Dale Earnhardt was alive. I said, if Dale Earnhardt had been alive, he wouldn't have lasted longer. He done wrecked all 3 of them. He didn't save gas. He went fast as he could go from the time he got there to the end. That ain't racing. It's got to go back Here's what's going to have to save NASCAR. They can do whatever they want to. They need to take them restrictor plates off. They need to allow one owner to have one car. And if
Mhm.
Floyd's car is faster than Marvin, Floyd beats Marvin. If Marvin's
There
car is
you go.
faster,
Whatever he can do, whatever he, and it still look like a race car. Get out there
that's
and
right.
run what you brung, boys.
That's right.
Hmm.
If they cheat, and let them cheat. Let them race. That's what it's all about.
It's a
It's
production now. It's like a
yeah.
Broadway play.
It
That's what
is.
it's all about. It's all about production, and it's all about who's gonna get this part and who's gonna get that part,
You're
and
right.
presentation, and who's gonna be in charge of the lighting and the sound. It's just ridiculous.
And
And if you thought about this, you can bet on that through Las Vegas.
Yeah,
Oh
you can
yeah,
bet on who's gonna win.
does the
They can,
France family still own it?
yeah.
yeah, controlling interest 60%, I think.
But college football is getting the same way. NFL.
Yep.
I see Matt Brayford got something about Major League Baseball. Money controls all that. You know, it's we the average working person. There's no sport out there that we can enjoy because it's everybody has a part. Maybe it's scripted to a certain extent, and who's
There
gonna
you
do
go.
what. And
Exactly.
now I'm not saying that the wreck was scripted or anything like that, and I'm not taking anything away uh, from the winner of the race. He come up through there and he had a fair shot. But what I'm saying is, if it had been one of them NASCAR darlings, and there's about 5 or 6 of them that can't
Mhm.
do no wrong, when that first wreck, the flag would have won, and the trophy would
Race
have
been
went to
over. Race
Dawson.
would have been over right there
Here,
where it happened, where the wreck
here,
That's
happened.
here,
right.
here's something that is as truth as I've ever told it. And I've been friends for years with Earl Bentz that had Triton boats and Stratus boats and Cayman boats now. He and Richard Childress good friends. He was friends with Dale Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt was NASCAR.
He was.
Dale Earnhardt told Bill France Jr. when something was wrong and they need to change it, they wouldn't have a meeting on Monday. They'd go ahead and change it because Dale Earnhardt said that's what they needed to do because they knew he was NASCAR. And since he went into that wall 2001, there ain't been nobody directing NASCAR. It's a ship kind of floating out there in sea. There is not a Dale Earnhardt to straighten out the France family and tell them what needs to be done. Now, I'm not saying that he was he did what was good for NASCAR, but if he didn't like something, he didn't wait till Monday or Tuesday. He went to Bill France Jr. and said, "Hey, you need to change this now." Monday, it was a new rule, uh, but he cared about the sport. There's nobody guiding the ship anymore.
So they called him the intimidator, but he was the enforcer too. He was the
Yes, sir.
on track enforcer.
Hmm.
Some of these young bucks out here now, them darlings, they wouldn't they wouldn't cut it. Not with him there, but what do we know? What do we know?
Well,
Yeah, we just full South Georgia, South Alabama rednecks. We don't know nothing about nothing.
And not near one of the four of us can afford a ticket to a race no more.
there you go. There
I
you,
mean,
now you're preaching. There you
Yeah,
go.
and
you done
and
told it like
it's
it
the
was.
rednecks like us that put you know. I remember the first race I went to. My daddy took me when I was, I don't know, maybe 10. We went to Atlanta to the first, and I bet you they wasn't 500 people there. And then it grew and grew to the most popular sport in America. And then all these big corporate things saw it, and they got the opportunity to go in there. And here come that dollar.
Hmm.
But that first race I went to, see, that's the difference in racing because the thing that stands out of that race is as they was racing, here come Richard Petty, young, and about 30, 45 seconds later, here comes the rest of them
That's
Yep.
right.
trying to
We
catch
went
him.
to a race one time in Byron, Georgia. Me and Don Calhoun, Gerald Franklin, and Frog Wells. One Sunday afternoon, we tore out to Byron, Georgia, and went to a car race. It was a dirt track, in Byron, Georgia. Richard Petty was driving, and
Really?
Frog's hero was a guy by the name of he was an Elmo Langley fan, and nobody had ever heard of Elmo, but Frog loved him. But we went there, and we was in the infield, and we was in there, and we were throwing a football back and forth with Kyle Petty. He was a little old boy running
How
around
about that?
throwing a football with Kyle Petty, but that was at a dirt track in Byron, Georgia, and Richard Petty, the king, was racing on a dirt. And you talk about some racing now, buddy. Man, son, when they come by, they suck all the wind out of you when they come by with them cars. But that was some kind of. We did make it home.
That's what I was going to ask you a question. Was alcohol involved?
We made it home. I'm gonna tell you that.
You know that there's the racing that's good now is on these smaller tracks.
Yeah.
Where the four of us went and watched that one in Kinston that time, they're fixed to have that race again next month. It's the 50th anniversary. Now, when we were over there, they were paying about $20,000 to win. They're paying $50,050 this time to win it. So,
and they'd have to give me they'd have to give me another 50,000 to take my picture with that rattlesnake they got in that.
That was funny.
They had him around.
I can't go over there because I done ruined my last suit over there with the mustard.
Well, you still ain't you got your racing? Ain't that the house you wore to the race?
It might
I
have
think
been.
that's the house you rolled to the
it
race.
is. It looks like it.
Paul's hat on now. I'm talking about that.
If he just had some mustard on the shirt, he'd look
Yeah,
like
I wish he had
been
that. Still had that shirt.
Hey, here's one. If there's anybody ever loved racing, it was this sponsor right here.
Sometimes you need a lawyer in your corner who ain't scared to fight. He'll defend you, don't matter if you are wrong or right. He's a South Georgia redneck with a ponytail and a law degree. With Billy Shingler as your lawyer, you will always be found not guilty. Just looking at Billy Shingler makes that DA weak. He'll mumble and fumble and be scared to speak. He'll shout, "Your Honor, I surrender, cause I know when I'm beat." Call Billy Shingler when the man has got them cuffs on tight. He'll fuss and cuss and slash and bun, shake his fist and holler, "I'm in your corner, let's fight, fight, fight."
Shingler Law, Donaldsonville, Georgia, 229-524-1225.
He
Wife
loves
said
it.
$3 for Queasel's hat, Roll Tide.
Yeah, but they'd be willing to pay $1 million for this shirt. They just don't want to admit it.
You know what I'm saying? One more thing about racing, then we'll stop with the racing. I know we're boring some of y'all, but if NASCAR would have some races at Eldora Speedway up there, that track that Tony Stewart, that dirt track that Tony Stewart owns up there, the viewers would come to it like a fish going to a bed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's unreal, but they don't do that. They want to do all this here.
Yeah, but listen to this here. Instead of going to the dirt track like what you talking about, Floyd, they'd rather get a bunch of dirt and haul it to an asphalt track in Bristol, Tennessee, and make an asphalt track dirt. What sense does that make? Well, y'all said something about common sense a while ago. Walking around sense, does that make walking around sense?
Promotion.
They're like one of the greatest racetracks in the United States of America.
Bruton Smith.
They tear the fenders off, they tear the wheels off one another, and have some good wrecks there.
Man, oh, you can't wreck them. Oh, you had to go to anger management and take what do you have to take? Sensitivity training if you wreck somebody now.
Sensitivity training.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Show my fish there, Marvin.
Yeah.
This is the fish of the week, Coach Al Griffin.
Good.
With Coach Ronnie Hicks fishing for them speckled perches, and lo and behold, that one Queasel, he said it took that rod down the water 2 different times
I expect it did. I expect it did.
on the ultralight. But that's all right at 12-pound blue cat. Now I got a question for another subject here. Uh, I'll run this one over there to Floyd. Somebody in that group said they had heard somebody say that a blue cat in the old days was called a government cat. Does that
Never
ring a
heard,
bell with you?
never heard that.
I hadn't either.
I ain't
And
never
this,
fished. I ain't no
I
fishing.
ain't never heard that.
My mama did
supposedly
learn to fish, and I never heard them call that
I've
blue
heard
cat, mud cat. I've heard of
butter
mud,
cat.
yeah,
channel cat.
Yeah.
brown catfish. Yeah,
Flathead,
Yeah.
it used to
Appaloosa,
be the
Appaloosa.
flat-
flathead.
it wasn't them channel catfish and mud cats. That was the only two catfish that I remember folks talking
You
about.
know,
Channel catfish are good. Mud cat they wasn't good. Wasn't good to
you
eat.
know
No.
my favorite species of catfish is fried catfish or
Yeah.
grilled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
that's the way I like them. I don't care what
I'll
nobody
go
else
that.
says.
I'll go with that Appaloosa flathead fried. That is
Man, it's
fine.
good.
Hey, got
Hard
another
to beat.
picture sent in today. This is was
Look at
caught
that.
today out of Panacea. That is none other than David Gerald Mock the Fourth, aka
Mm.
DJ.
Come on.
That is Gerald Mock's
Got him
grandbaby.
a speckled trout. I mean, a
On
good one.
Yes,
Gerald's
sir.
boat today out of Panacea. That is DJ Mock right there. His first I think it's his first fish, maybe. But Gerald said he caught it today. Boy, look at that smile, son.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's living right there.
Yeah.
Money,
Living.
money
My mother
can't
was trying
replace
to get
that.
me fishing, but I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go. I was too lazy to fish. I'd lay down in the boat and go to sleep while they was fishing. You know what they do when they go fishing? Sometimes we had a schoolhouse down at Babcock. Babcock, yeah, and y'all folks that live around here know where Babcock is. There was a school down Babcock Schoolhouse, and I wasn't old enough to go to school. I was 5 years old, but they had school at Babcock. I had one of my friends that lived down the dirt road from it. There, he went to school at Babcock. Mama and Daddy dropped me off at the school. They'd go fishing. I'd be in school. That's one reason I found that out. That's one reason that I am as smart as I am.
Huh.
I was exposed to higher learning at a very early age. But they would drop me off, and I'd stay. I'd stay up there, sit up there in the class, because everybody knew who I was, the teachers, everybody. But they dropped me off at the school, and I'd sit in there in the classroom. I was happy. And they come by and pick me up and take me back home. Now, when I started having to go to school, I was not happy.
So were you a
But
project?
Yeah,
Floyd,
yeah,
Floyd, do you
yeah.
reckon they thought they might need to try to get a head start with you and go ahead and get you while you were younger?
Well, I did. Oh man, I loved it. I sat up in that man because I didn't have to take no test. I
Oh,
didn't have to go
okay.
up to the blackboard and
Yeah.
solve no problem or none of that. I just sat up in there and smiled and grinned and
Did
had a
you
good
have
time.
that same attitude about 11th grade?
No, no, man. Woo. Anyway, that's just some FYI
Hey,
information.
Charlie, Ansley Brazel said, I sell government catfish all the time. You can only buy them on EBT cards.
Go.
I like that
That's pretty
government
good right there.
cookies.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
load them
pretty
up,
good
man.
right there.
Load them up, ZB. Hey,
That's
load that
right.
card up, baby.
Oh,
with
man.
crab legs and shrimp and scallop and mullet and whatever you can get loaded up, baby, because it's going somewhere.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
That's pretty good right there.
That's good.
Lord have mercy.
I don't care who you are.
Can't make that up. Charlie, talk to us.
All right. So William Meats. We're talking about 2 locations to serve you. 431 Headland, of course, 27 between Colquitt and Blakely, Georgia. We're talking about a lot of great locally grown beef you'll find at Sir William Meat. Produced right here in the local Wiregrass area, processed right here in the local Wiregrass area there at Sir William Meat Company, and sold to you fresh to your table. You won't find any better quality anywhere. Check them out today. Whether you like a filet mignon, whether you like a ribeye, a New York strip, T-bone, tomahawk steak, sirloin, the best ground beef you'll ever make a burger out of. It's all at one place, Sawega Meat. At the Headland location and at the location over in Georgia on 27, you'll find a lot of great rubs for the meat for your grills. You'll also find great sauces, different barbecue sauces, rubs, And the Headland location, a lot of great casseroles. You can set that oven, preheat it, put that casserole in. Hours time, you got a meal for the whole family. If you like sausage, they got their own great smoked link sausage, patty sausage, pan sausage, and you'll also find some great smoked pork chops there that are about like the size of a steak and just as tender and good as you'll find. It's all at one place, two places actually, 27 between Blakely and Colquitt, and on US 431 in Headland. Sawega Meat Company, quality food for your table tomorrow night.
And we appreciate them very much, all of our sponsors. We appreciate their support of Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show.
Local folks. Y'all
Local
go do
folks.
business with these local folks. They
That's
need your
right.
money more than the Walmart folks need your money. If you go to your Walmart store, and I know it's convenient. I know I go to Walmart myself. I ain't putting you down because you go to Walmart. But when you go to Walmart, that money's going to Arkansas. I think that's where it winds. I don't think it even slows down.
Yeah.
It
It
just
don't
Mm-mm.
slow down.
I think it goes right on in there, and but just do business with local folks if you can,
Yep.
you can. Every chance you get.
Yep. We appreciate you very much, very much. Boys, news. I hadn't watched much news this week. I was picking up. Looks
I
like
can't watch the news. I can't watch the news. They got that woman that's been missing out there. I don't know for I don't know how many days, and now 30 days and 40 nights. I think she's been missing out there. And I know she's missing, but Lord have mercy, there ain't nothing else y'all can talk about with that woman. And they got Nancy Grace on there. Now, if y'all want to see a straight lunatic, look at Nancy Grace. Now, if that woman ain't snorting cocaine, they ain't nobody snorting cocaine. That's the craziest woman. How would you like to be? How would you like to? How would you like to run up with her? You ain't gonna do it, Marvin and Queasel, but some people would run up with her in a juke joint somewhere and carry her home. And in
No.
the morning when she wake up with them wild eyes like that, them eyes beaming at you like that, and their teeth are gritting, and them jaws dry tight like that, how would you enjoy that? That would not be a good experience. But Nancy Grace, of all people, to have on there telling us about this woman missing. I can't watch the news. We all talking about the news. I can't watch the news anymore.
We got a situation over here right now over in Enterprise. Little 2-year-old girl reported by her mother to have walked out of the apartment a couple 3 days ago. Now the mother's in jail,
Mm-hmm.
and they're looking everywhere for that little 2-year-old
For the
girl,
child.
Mm.
and probably has been missing for not just a couple of days, but possibly neighbors hadn't seen that little child for several weeks. So
Yeah.
wow.
just
Uh-huh.
just pray for that little 2-year-old child. I mean, there's so many bad things going on, and I don't know how long it's going to take. This is one reason I carry a gun. These folks that are born as a man without equipment and want to be a woman, and the women that's born without that equipment and wants to be a man, it is. If any fool out there don't think them folks ain't as dangerous as anything in this world, as far as violence goes, killing people, y'all need to wake up, just slap the hell out of yourself, wake yourself up, and what they say, smell the coffee,
Yeah, and I
because
walk up to somebody and say, "Look at here, man. You need to slap some sense in me. You, cause
yeah,
I ain't got a lick of sense. But
it
them people that do that, they do all that. If there's no such thing as a transgender, you ain't gonna change your
no.
gender by chopping off her head. You're not gonna change your gender. They
And
hate
here,
normal people. They hate normal people. Normal people
here's
is their enemy. And if you ever encounter one of them cats somewhere, whatever they are, if they call themselves a she or a he or a shim or whatever, the best thing you can do is get out of there as soon as you possibly can to get away from them. Because
exactly.
nothing good is going to happen as a result of you spending time talking to them.
No, and it never dawned on you, Floyd, that these folks that don't know what they are or what they want to be, some of them are in places of authority, as in a law enforcement agent,
Mm-hmm.
Now, does somebody with a badge and authority need to be somebody that confused? I don't want them authority over me. I mean, we're in a mess. We gotta look. We gotta deal with this stuff, don't we, Marvin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But Charlie, it shouldn't come as a surprise. Um,
No, no,
the Bible talks about at the end times, men will become lovers of themselves. They will call what is right wrong and what is wrong
wrong,
right,
right.
and they will justify. I mean, it's all being fulfilled. And let me tell you something. If you think we ain't seen nothing yet, it's on a fast track, but we ain't seen nothing yet. I know probably, and you know what's amazing? Look at how much it's changed just in the last 10 years.
Oh yeah, just look at the last 3 or 4 years. How
Yeah.
much it's changed.
Thank you, Floyd. That's right.
It got to be 10 years. You go back. You start with Joe Biden. You start. It started with that fool. Well, no, it started with Barack Hussein Obama when he it started with him. Joe Biden is a prodigy of Barack Hussein Obama. He does what Barack Hussein Obama tells him to do. Then it comes along with Joe Biden. Joe Biden had his transgender day at the Capitol when men are walking around there with their silicone breasts, exposing them on the grounds of the Capitol of the United States, the White House of the United States of America. And that fool is walking around there with them, pretending that all of this is normal. Do not pretend that abnormal people are normal. You're not helping them and you're not helping yourself. Get away from them. And if you got one
Hmm.
in your family, if you got a man in your family that's dressing up like a woman and pretending to be a woman, and he was an ugly enough man, imagine what he looked like as a woman. You get away from him, and you get your folks, you get your children away from him because he's dangerous.
Have you ever seen an attractive man that's trying to become a woman and him becoming an attractive woman?
Devil. And I understand they ugly men, they ugly women too. They can't help it. But you ain't got to pretend to be an ugly woman.
Yeah, but you
Hmm.
can't fix ugly. Whatever you do, you can't fix it. I mean, if
Man,
you're an ugly woman, you're gonna be an ugly man. If you're an ugly man, you're gonna be an
you'll
ugly
be
woman.
ugly.
So
You'll
what?
be
And,
ugly. If
and
you ugly, you ugly.
and think about
That's
that.
right.
Most of them men that try to become women are toe up ugly men.
They ugly.
No,
They ugly.
here's
They're just as
it's just
crazy as
like the
a
men.
lunatic.
The men in women's sports. The only reason they in women's sports is they can't win a trophy in the men's
They can't
division.
win in the
There you go.
men's sport.
They
There you
go
go.
into the women's
They're
division.
so absorbed with themselves, and they're so narcissistic that they love themselves so much.
Yeah,
It's like self gratitude. They can never
yeah.
be. They can never, and they'll never be happy.
Okay, well, let me throw this out here. All right, why can't, though? Okay, if that's what they want to do, fine. But why can't they just accept that we are not going to change the way we feel? Why has it got to be rammed down our throat that I'm not going to be happy until you say that what I'm doing is okay?
You've got to celebrate them. They're never happy until you celebrate them, and you can never celebrate them enough. So, I mean, that's the way it is. But anyway, we done harped on that enough.
Well,
We'll get off
it
out.
kind of
We'll
go
get
back
off
to
out
the
in the
old
ditch.
saying, you can get happy in the same drawers you got unhappy, and I ain't celebrating none of them.
Yeah, you can be
There it is.
happy, right? You can be happy. Are you all right, Marvin?
Sorry about that.
Whew.
Did y'all still hear us out there?
Good
I got,
gracious alive.
I got blood running out of my ears right
Ooh,
now, but other
Marvin
than
had
that,
a
that's great.
squeeze. I don't know. He had a lot of black pepper for supper
Yeah,
tonight.
Marvin, I'm glad.
Ooh.
I'm glad that wasn't gas, brother. If it
Well,
had been,
That's later. That's later.
let me tell you. Let me tell you what I
Flo-
had. Floyd invited me to come over and eat before we set up the studio tonight, and let me just tell you what I ate. Man, I ate higher on the hog than if I'd have been at Buckingham Palace. I had 2 bowls of cabbage mixed with Kaneka sausage,
oh Lord.
and I had 2 bowls, if you will, of lima beans mixed with pork.
Your wife ain't gonna let you stay home tonight. And let me tell you something. Don't even come to Firehouse tomorrow. Don't even just drive by. Don't stop. You are
I
not.
honestly felt like
Uh,
I was royalty tonight. And then he
you are
had some
Flo-
not.
little palm
You are
bread right there.
no sir. You are not gonna
Floyd,
come in there and blow up my toilet tomorrow. You stay away
Floyd,
from the fire station.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Floyd, do you have a can of air freshener back there where you are?
One
I
can.
got some turpentine. I'm gonna wave. I'm gonna wave my bottle of turpentine around.
There you
Oh,
go.
speaking about good eating, tell them about them.
It's hard to advertise them. I had to think about you eating what you done eat.
Oh,
TK Bart, hey, let me tell you about him. Just tonight, I had a man call me. He said, I went uptown and hauled some trash off, and he said, he asked me what I was doing. He said, I thought you was. I said, well, I come to haul some trash off. He said, I'm fit to go home and eat some supper. He said, I am too, but he said, I'm going to the best place in Colquitt, Georgia to eat. I said, where you going? He said, I'm going to pick it up. He said, I just called it in, and by the time I get there, it'll be ready. He said, I called in me some fried catfish, and my son wanted some hot wings. Well, when he said that, I knew where he was going. He said, I'm headed to TK's. I said, man, you're going to the best place, like you said, in Colquitt. It is. He said, it is. He said, it really is, because when I get there, they will be hot. He said, it's almost like they watching me to walk in the door. They take them out of the grease, put them in the plate, and I go home. And he said, when I get home, the food is still hot. That's none other than TK Bar and Grill that he's talking about that does that. It's hot at the restaurant. It'll be hot when you go pick it up, take it home. Now, it depends on how fast you drive or where you live, where it still be hot when you get home. But I guarantee you, when they bring it to you out of that kitchen, it ain't come off of no buffet bar. It is hot off the grill or hot out of the grease, whichever way you want it.
That's good.
Best catfish you'll ever eat. Hot wings, sandwiches. Man, other night I went out and looked. They had some steaks as good as I didn't eat one, but the folks that I saw was eating one, and they said it was as good as they ever ate. They got an outstanding salad bar. Anything you want on it. Good service, good people. They need the business and they appreciate the business. Local. We was talking earlier about, you need to spend your money local. We need to support our little small towns here in Georgia, Florida, and Alabama because they depend on us. And I don't mind supporting when I get the kind of service and they get the kind of food that they get at TK's. 571 North. If you want to carry out, call them 254-7850. Tell them what you want. Tell them when you're going to be there, and they will have it hot when you're there. TK Bar and Grill, give them a shout. They'll love it.
hey guys, it's time for trivia time. Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show, brought to us by Southern Hissy Fits on the square in Colquitt, 109 West College Street. Embroidery, t-shirts, tumblers, whatever you need. Go by and see Miss Vicky. She will hook you up. Winner tonight will receive a licensed, logoed memorabilia from the merch table at Southern Hissy Fits of the Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. And here is our question for the night. Our question for tonight, brought to us by Southern Hissy Fits. Got a question tonight, not a picture. So, here is what we want. There's three parts to the answer to this question. It's an Andy Griffith question.
Go ahead.
Andy Griffith episode. He took Ernest T. Bass to Mrs. Wiley, if you will, Mrs. Wiley, her society party.
Mm-hmm.
Ernest T. Bass. Okay? And he knew he couldn't take him as Ernest T. Bass, so who did he take him as? Where was he from? And what was his given name that Andy used? Andy Griffith took Ernest T. Bass to Mrs. Wiley's society party. Couldn't take him as Ernest T., so he took him as someone. Who did he pretend he was taking him as? Where was he supposedly from? And what was his name? It was not Ernest T. Bass, but he went as somebody else.
You're doubling up on the question there, Marvin. Your first question is the same question as your third question. The way I'm comprehending. You're not explaining it very well, Marvin. You need to do better. For someone like me.
Who was he going to the party as?
Who was going?
Yeah.
Who?
Ernest T. was going with
Who
Andy
did?
as
Rephrase
as a
it. How
person.
did
As
how
a
did
person.
Andy?
Okay. All right,
How did Andy introduce him?
Okay, go ahead now.
There
Second
you go.
question.
Yeah. Second question is, where was he supposedly from?
Okay, now to go to the third question.
Third question is, What was his given name that Andy introduced him as?
Andy done introduced him.
No. He introduced him as he is a car salesman. He is
okay. No, didn't give his name.
No.
Why didn't you give his profession?
No, it wasn't. It ain't profession.
No.
His standing.
Okay. Yeah. Why he was with Andy? Yeah, if you will.
Man, that's complicated.
Here's a little better. It kind of gives a little hint, a little better question. What relationship did Andy say he had with him?
Yes. What
was his relationship to Andy?
Yeah.
What was his name?
Anything off the rails now.
And where was he from?
Go ahead. I ain't even gonna jump on this one.
What was Ernest T. When he went and he introduced him at Ms. Wiley's? What was the relationship to Andy that he introduced? Where was he from, and what was his name? What was his name? Where was he from? And when Andy introduced him, what was he to Andy?
I know what Mrs. Wiley called him at the end.
Your cousin's close. He's close. He's close. He's got where Miss Wiley said he was from, but he didn't put where Andy said he was from.
Yeah, Miss Wiley said he was from a different place. Charlie mentioned that.
That's right.
Yeah. And we'll mention that at the end.
There ain't nobody gonna get all this. You got them so mixed up out there, Marvin.
Your cousin done got it.
Cousins done got it.
Well, everything he said where Mrs. Wiley said he was from. Andy introduced him as so and so.
All right. We got Jody Redding's got it right. He introduced him as his cousin, Terry Woodham, his cousin Oliver Gossage from Raleigh. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
You got to be patient. Cousin,
who won it?
Terry Woodham. Terry, if I don't have your address, message me or message Dirt Road Sports Facebook page, and I'll make sure we got your address and we'll drop you something in the mail. But that is correct. Andy Griffith took Ernest T. Bass to Mrs. Wiley's society party. When they got there, he introduced him as his cousin from Raleigh, whose name was Oliver Gossage. All right, now where did Mrs. Wiley say he was from? Not Boston, but where?
Yeah. Oh, you asking me?
Whoever,
or you asking them? Huh?
Yeah, asking you.
Oh, he wasn't from Boston. He was from Back Bay, Boston.
Back Bay, Boston.
Back Bay. Definitely.
Now that accent was from Back Bay, Boston.
Back Bay, yeah.
See how you can fool?
Yeah.
How many folks we got fooled out there?
Terry Woodham, I am proud you won that. Now Florida,
No, wait. Now Floyd, let's let Floyd have the last say. What did Miss Wiley call Ernest T. Bass?
What did she call him? She called it that creature.
Creature. Let's go. What was Oliver's girlfriend? What was his girlfriend's name there that night?
Walthina, wasn't it?
Ramona.
Okay. I was thinking about another Walthina here. You know her? I know. I know what. Go ahead.
You might better keep that to yourself, Floyd.
Oh man,
that was good. That was a good change up from looking at an old card, knowing what it was. But you know what? Hey, I want to make a point real quick on this right here. All the television shows and all we talking about watching and all that stuff. Here was a show that was filmed in the 1960s. Still on the air, not a cuss word in it, not a bad thing in it, nothing about it. And look how many people knew all the answers. I got about 3 or 4 on my phone that's texting me that don't want to win this doing it. Man,
it's still on TV. It's still on TV.
Still on TV.
Their own channel. They got their own. Andrew Griffith got his own channel.
Yeah. Look at Ronald Bowden. I love my Dirt Road Sports Rednecks with Class cap. I wear it almost every day and get comments on it all the time.
Come on, man.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
There's another one on here. I got a cap too. One of them firemen from over around Jake in Georgia, if you will.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
You know who we get the most comments on our Dirt Road Sport merch, off the merch table, as you call it?
who?
Floyd B. Lloyd's landscape professional on that basket on that bicycle.
Oh, that
Oh,
He's got it
bicycle,
right
yeah.
on the front of that
Yeah,
bicycle, buddy.
yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. All over town.
Hey guys, KWG Plumbing LLC. He's our friend. He's our confidant. Kenneth Wayne Garney. He's not going to be joining us tonight, but he is licensed in Alabama and he's licensed in Georgia for all your plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, it makes no difference. Kenneth Wayne Garney, the magic number is 229-220-6694. If you ain't flowing, he will get you going. That is KWG Plumbing. And man, look what a picture he sent here. Caption.
Wow. That's Lake Seminole.
Lake Seminole, Georgia, right there.
Mm,
Look at that sunset.
Beautiful picture. God's
I know right
best
where
promise.
that is. I know the
I
exact
think I
spot where
do
that
too.
is.
Hey,
I
he's
do
our
too.
friend. He'll be back with us next week. KWG Plumbing LLC. If you live in Alabama, you live in Georgia, give him a call. He would love to come give you a quote. Love to come take care of your problems. And he is one of our faithful sponsors here on Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show, Mr. Kenneth Wayne Garney.
Yeah, let me, y'all, everybody out there that's listening, if I may have the floor for a moment, everybody that's listening in out there, I presume that you use water in your life. I mean, I presume that you drink water, use water to bathe with, or wash your dog, or fill your swimming pool up with water. You know, water is one of those things that and Marvin's got he got a 2-liter bottle over here that he's drinking water from. Uh, it's one of those things we take for granted, but I don't know if y'all realize people in the agriculture bed and people down where we live know how dry it is.
Yep.
Uh, I ran into a friend of mine today. He actually was in Ziggy B's seafood market there, and Tim Moore. And Tim was he's retired now. He was our county agent in here in Miller County, a great one for a long, long time. And I remember years ago, this would have been at least 15, 16, maybe 20 years ago. We had got a big rain. I mean, it had rained for 4 or 5 days, and man, I mean, it had rained. We had got probably 10 or 12 or 15 inches of rain. And I ran up with Tim, talking with him a week or so later, after the rain, a couple of weeks later, and I was talking to him about how good that beneficial that rain was that we got because we had been in a kind of a dry situation. And he told me, he said there's a test well that they dug down at Babcock, Georgia, where I went to school before I went to school.
Gotcha.
It was a test well that they measure the water table at. Do you know what I'm talking about, Queasel? It's down there, I think, around where where that little fire station is at Babcock down there. But there's a test well at Babcock where they measure the water table. And he told me, he said, after this was 20 years ago, he said after that rain, I asked him, about how it refilled our aquifer and recharged it. He said the water table rose 25 feet after that rain.
Really?
Yeah, he said it rose 25 feet after the rain because he monitored the well. And I asked him today, I was in Ziggy B's in there, and asked him, I said, I had you on my mind the other day. I said, we're going through a terrible drought situation here in the southeastern United States. And I said, do you keep up with the well level at Babcock down there? He said, no, I don't, but I can go to a website. He said, let me have your cell phone number and I'll text you this information as soon as I pull it up. He said, I can go to a website, and the website is water, WATERDATA, waterdata.usgs, and I think that's US Geological Society, usgs.gov. That's the website. He said, I'm gonna go on that website and I'm gonna see where the water table is at Babcock. So he pursued it. He went and he texted me this back. He said the Babcock well test well today that and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now what the normal when the aquifer is full. This is and what this is measuring from the ground to where you hit the water in the well, in the test well. He said when the aquifer is full, it's 12 feet. That's how much water we're sitting on right here where we are in this part of the country.
Largest in the world.
Largest in the world, aquifer. It's 12 feet when the aquifer is full. He said today at Babcock, the water level is 43.7. You got to go 43.7 feet before you hit the water at the
Wow.
Babcock test well. He said the lowest that it has ever been since they've been keeping up with it was 44.8 feet. So we 1 foot above what the lowest water level we have ever had in this part of the country. We 1 foot above that. And we ain't got no rain in sight. We have not had a rain here in southwest Georgia since the middle of August. Any measurable extended rain since the middle of August. We'll get a 3/10 or a 4/10 or an inch and a half. It does nothing to fill that aquifer. So here's what I'm asking. We need to pray for rain.
Mhm.
I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
that's all we can do. We that's all we can. We can't put water into the aquifer, but we need to pray for rain because it's fixing to get sure enough serious if it don't rain.
Well, let me throw this out, and I'm give a shameless plug for Queasland in there. This past Saturday, I saw Ziggy B put it on there. She said, "Man, I have been working all day, and it's been nothing but nonstop sirens from the fire department going by." Didn't you say, Queasland, y'all had 10 or 12 calls Saturday alone?
Yep. 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 Busy. I had we had a couple of guys that are good at burning. I mean, they do a lot of prescribed burning. They're good at it, and they had fires get out. And one told me, he said, I had a double break. It jumped the double break and the dirt road, and it just took one ember. It was so dry, and man, let me tell you something. We was running, and we had two or three of them that was really close calls to major losses.
Mm.
But by the grace of God, we got there just in time to get them knocked down. But it's that rain's gone now. It's raining a little bit tonight, like Florida talked about earlier. But that's the weather service come back on and told us that Monday that rain would be gone. That little bit of protection we had would be gone by Wednesday at the latest, and so we're back running them again. So it and it ain't, none of them were. Um, we had several was just burning a pile of leaves or like you normally do. It's too dry to burn anything right now.
Yep.
It really is. It's dangerous. But I'm worried about what Floyd said because you know uh, it's fit to get planting time and fit to get and them farmers has got to get that water on them crops.
Well,
I don't
and
know.
hey, there's a lady. She was on Facebook. Lives in the center of Mayhaw. Well went dry this week.
Well, my wife believes in that old farmer's almanac. She gets one every year, and it predicted the drought starting last year, like it did, went right on through the fall, and then it said that it's last year said that we was going to have a very dry and cold winter. It didn't miss that. That was on it, and it said we're going to have a dry spring, but we're gonna have a toward the latter part of the spring and the summer gonna be hot and wet. So I'm hoping it's dead on the money.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, me and you
Our
both.
our 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 attorney just got in with us a few minutes ago. He's been in court in Carroll County, and he got over an inch of rain last weekend,
I got
and
an inch of
three 100s, actually 3 100s tonight.
Hmm.
So
I got an inch and 4/10 Saturday.
What I got, Queasel. That's what I got here Sunday. Got two good rains.
I meant Sunday, yeah,
That
Sunday.
don't help. That don't help none. That
No,
does not help. That does not recharge the aquifer.
Professor Hartzog always said we're about 10 to 14 days away from a drought,
Yeah.
any way you look at it. If you go 2 weeks with no rain, you got you got problems. Now the aquifer that you folks got over there is not the same one we have over here.
Right.
That's
Y'all
right.
got the Floridan, which is
Hmm.
a shallow aquifer. which the reason a big rain can bring that up quick. That aquifer forms up there. Queasel, help me with this, around Arlington on back up toward Albany, and that way is where that aquifer
I don't
starts.
know. I really don't know.
Marvin, who you got coming to the church for the fish fry to speak?
Um, Dr. Alex Howell.
If I'm not mistaken, he is a historian from over there around Bainbridge, correct?
No,
Blakely.
he's from Blakely.
Blakely. Blakely,
He's
that's right. Okay.
he's a retired tooth dentist and a preacher. And but I think you're all right. I think he is a historian.
That's what I thought. He might know. There's a lot of history around that Floridan aquifer over there, Lake Seminole, and
Oh yeah.
but what bothers me about that on the farming side of it, guys, if what is 12 was 12 feet is now 40 something feet, when we get to the spring and have to start pumping all this water on these crops, are the wells going to be deep enough on these irrigation wells to pump the water out? Floyd, help me with that.
Well, I'll help you with that. I dug two 12-inch wells in 1975, two of them, same time. They hit water. They hit the rock at 40 feet. They hit water way before that, but they hit the rock at 40 feet. Had to water 1,200 gallons per minute. That's 40 feet now, and we right on the edge right here. When you talk about the 44 and the 43, we right on the edge of the water table. But that's where they
Mm-hmm.
hit the rock at, and what they hit water like 12, 15 feet, But they went on down and got this. They set that they set it on the rock and they had no problem. Never had any problem with either one of those wells. But that's how deep those wells were.
I
12-inch wells.
he I believe, Marvin, you're gonna have to help me, but I believe it's Second Chronicles chapter 7, somewhere around about verse 14, somewhere along in there. Says a little bit about that, don't it? That if my people, where did Marvin go?
Up, you there? We back.
Don't it say something about if my people
Who are called by my
called by
name
my name
shall humble
will
themselves and seek my face and turn from
and
their
pray.
wicked things and pray, then I will hear their prayers from heaven and will heal their land.
Send rain is what it is.
Here's one right here, Highway 167, north of 52 in Hartford. And this is another area that has always been wet. This Nathan Reeder says there's a swamp. I know where he's talking about. He says it's the driest he's ever seen it right now.
No, I know.
Wow.
Our aquifer over here, to give you a comparison, to dig a 10, 12-inch well for irrigation, I believe I'm right. The McAllisters can correct me on that. A well to pump that much water out of the Tuscaloosa aquifer that we're in is about a 400-foot deal.
Yeah.
Across the river and in the southeast corner of Houston County, on down there right at the park, 15, 20 feet will get you water.
Yeah. I know it.
But it takes 400 up the road about 3 miles. Isn't that right, Floyd?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the same way we're here. We're like in Early County, Calhoun County. You can't get no. It's hard to find water. There's a lot of big tracts of land up there that they got very limited amount of water that they're trying to pump through those systems. I mean, right up there, right north of around Damascus up there, what they call the Cook Place up there, big farm up there. God Almighty, they've tried to irrigate that thing forever, and they finally dug enough ponds and things that they can capture some water. They pump water into it, but man, it's amazing where we live right here, and that's why I call it. And y'all may make fun of me if you say the old original Garden of Eden. I mean, that's one of the reasons I say that. That's where
You're right. You're right.
abundant water supply that we're on. We're blessed to have that. But I encourage y'all to pray for this thing because we all
Absolutely.
have to have water. That's one of the things that we got to have water. You got to have water to live,
Can't
to
live
exist. And good Lord's in charge of all of that. Al Gore and John Kerry and none of those people and SUVs and air conditioning, that they're not in charge of the rainfall. They
No.
never have been and they never will be. But I just encourage you to pray for rain, man, please, because we need it.
Hey guys, Bear Hill Auctioneers. He's our friend. He's our confidant. He's been with us since day one. He is the owner and proprietor in general of Berry Hill Auctioneers, and he is our sponsor in perpetuity and exclusivity of whatever Floyd B. Lloyd decides to do at this juncture.
I done talked enough tonight. I had a bookie story that I was
Tell it.
but
Tell it.
I'll give up my
Tell it.
time.
Tell
Tell
it.
it. I'll give up my
I've
time. Tell
been
it.
about half preaching to y'all.
Go ahead.
Just tell
Well,
it.
I saw Bookie the other day.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, Bookie, he's a whole, you know, so last week I saw him, he had the drunk driving deal, you know. He was down and out last week. But this week he was all happy. He was all excited about it. Hey, Sloan, how you doing, man? How you doing, Sloan? I'm doing fine, Bookie. I said, sound like you gonna talk. Well, man, out there, I never felt no better in my life. I'm happy. Yeah, I got me finally got me a good woman that stay with me, and me and her we get along real good. And said I was just happy. Said she brings me joy, if you will. She 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 make me feel good, and I think I make her feel good too. Cause the other day, we were I go in the doctor office with her because they all know me, and they she kind of like shamefaced me talk about things, but you know I tell it like it is. So we in the doctor's office in there. She a pretty good sized lady. You seen her? Ain't you, Flo? I said yeah. I said I've seen her. I said what you say her name? Her name Wolfina. I said what? See that again? Her name Wolfina. Wolfina. I said, oh, okay, I got you there. I said, I've seen her around. I said, she pretty good sized lady there. Yeah, I said, she pretty good sized lady. I said, but she make me happy. I said, well, why come you so happy? He said, well, I said, I know she liked me. And I know now she likes it. She proved it the other day when we were in the doctor's office in there. That we was in the doctor's office in there. And you know, you got to sign in. You have to sign all kinds of stuff. Sign in. Then they check you out. Then they got a place down there that says, "Don't fill this in." The nurse will fill it in down there. And one of the things is like how much you weigh. And anyway, he said, "Well, Phil didn't fill that out." I said, "But they put on the scales up there." And she took the scale at 405 pounds. And they wrote that down on a paper there. They sit it in there with a doctor in there. And we were sitting in there, you know, we were sitting in there talking back and forth with one another, you know, and getting along pretty good there. So the doctor come in, he had that paper in his hand. He holding that paper up in his hand. He said, "Oh yes, yeah, I see him." Said, yeah. Your name walked in. She said, yeah, walked in. She dip as much snuff as Bookie dip, so she can talk. He did. He said, yeah, it's walked in. He said, he looking at it, Charlie. He said, huh? Said, I see what they said. You weigh 405 pounds. He said, yeah, I weigh 405 pounds. And Boogie said, I just felt nobody listening. So I'm gonna find out what's going on. I said, I know how much she weighed. I won't know what kind of business it was with the doctor there, how much she weighed. He said, he looked at it, he said, oh, I said, 405 pounds. He said, yeah. Said, you could play for the Green Bay Packers. She said, ha ha ha. Said, that might be true. That might be true, but I don't play with nobody Packer except Bookie.
I knew where you was going. I didn't know if you were going to go the whole way.
Any you church folks out there might be offended by that. Y'all got to understand who I am. So sometimes I have very little self control. Oh man,
That's right up there with the sweet tater, Floyd. I'm gonna tell you.
but some of you that might not have got that, she said that might be true. I'm not gonna play with a Green Bay Packer, but I don't play with nobody Packer but Bookie.
You want me to give the weather? You want me to do what? Mercy. Oh, the folks at Kelly Crop Insurance, Colquitt, Georgia. We appreciate you folks, and we appreciate what y'all do for our agricultural community right here throughout the Wiregrass region. Kelly Crop Insurance, Colquitt, Georgia. Rain on the way, starting probably tomorrow afternoon, in the morning, maybe a little bit better chances tomorrow through Saturday. And then get ready for the cold, folks.
Yep.
Look at that Sunday morning, get up to 33 degrees. That's what you get up to. Gets up to 60, 27 one morning, 33 another morning. Cold weather is on the way. And just be ready for it. We always say if you don't like the weather around here, give it about 10 or 15 minutes, it will change. And that's
Charlie, do you
exactly what.
realize that from Saturday to Monday, from the high to the low, that's almost a 50-degree swing.
That'll make you sick right there now.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what gets
yeah.
folks sick.
It's bad. I'm gonna do like a quiz. I'm gonna give Floyd my time. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Pray for this nation, and as Floyd said, pray for rain. We need it, Queasel.
Hey, I'm good at my word. Love y'all. Love y'all. Love them Green Bay Packers too, Floyd.
Yeah, thank you, man. Listen, we had a good time with y'all tonight. We just carrying on. We friends. We talk like this all the time. Sometimes we talk like this, and sometimes y'all might be offended by what we say, but we have no control over what we say. We
Absolutely.
especially me. But anyway, we love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Listen, let me tell you. I tell you every Thursday night about saying your prayers before you go to bed. Still say your prayers before you go to bed. Say your prayers when you wake up. When you wake up in the morning, let me tell you what you do. Wake up in the morning, first thing when them eyes pop open, and you know who you are and where you are. You give thanks to the good Lord for it.
Amen.
Thanks, God, that I
Amen.
know who I am and where I am. And I thank you for this bed that I'm sleeping in. I'm thank you for this room I'm in. I'm thank you for this roof over my head. I'm thank you for this house. I thank you that I'm safe. I thank you that I put my feet on the floor and walk and talk and smell and taste coffee and taste a biscuit. Give him thanks for that. Just start out giving him thanks. I do it all day long, and I couldn't survive without it. So
Amen.
the blessings way yonder outweigh the bad stuff. I promise you.
Guys, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining us tonight. You know what I'm going to tell you. Sunday's coming. Go to church. Give the Lord his due. Our scripture tonight says, "Dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God, but if we love one another, God lives in us and his love is made complete in us." He loves you, and you ought to love him back, and you ought to thank him for every single thing he's done for you. Hey, we appreciate you joining us tonight. I know we got carried away tonight.
We had a good
We
time.
went from everything from turpentine to racing to the Green Bay Packers football.
Man, we can talk about anything.
We covered
any subject y'all want to talk about. Tell them, Mark.
and we can do it. And listen, here's the thing that people don't understand. When we hit the go button on this thing, we had absolutely no idea what we were going to talk about tonight at all.
Nope.
No idea whatsoever what we were going to talk about. And the Lord's willing and the creek don't rise. We're going to be right back here next week, same place, same time, for more Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. But until then, no matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter who you do it with, and most especially, if you are in a doctor's office with your wife and the doctor walks in with a Green Bay Packer shirt on, be we love y'all.
See,